Well, folks, I get asked a lot of questions about, when people show up to the shop, they ask me, Todd, what jigs do you use and what size do you use? And I always tell them, I said, it really depends on the circumstances and what you're doing. A lot of the times when I'm using live bait, I like to use the Stewie jig. And the reason for that is because that hook swings around quite a bit on that jig, so it allows that bait fish to have a little bit more freedom than what it typically would on a regular jig head. Typically what we use is the 1 ounce inshore. It's about 90% of the time is what we use inshore is the 1 ounce Stewie or the 1 ounce regular jig. And people ask me all the time, well, what about color? Me personally, color hasn't seemed to make a difference, and the only time I've ever seen a difference is when we're fishing for hogfish, and the pink jig will actually catch more or bigger hogfish than like a sand or a neon yellow, this is a new color. We're coming out with a couple of new colors. This one is a neon yellow. It's very bright yellow compared to our other one, which is like just a lemon peel yellow. So you can see the difference between the two. There's really a big difference between those two colors. So I've been asked to come out with these, so I came out with that color, neon yellow, and then we have the regular yellow, and then we have the pink and the Stewies, and then we're coming out with this color, which is, I call it the sparkly pink, which it has tiny little flecks of silver in it. So it actually has a little bit of a sparkly look to it. It's hard to see in camera, but this is a new color we're going to be coming out with, along with the neon yellow. It will be on the website by the time this video gets up. Also, some exciting news is that we have also going to start offering the Stewie jigs with a 4/0 octopus hook. So it's more of almost like a J-style hook, and we're going to be offering the Stewies with the 4/0, and then anything from a 1/2 ounce down to the 1/8 ounce, we're going to be offering a 1/0 hook, so a much smaller hook for the Stewies with that. And those will be coming to the website very soon. The 1/0 will. The 4/0 will be up immediately, but we've been getting a lot of questions about that. If we could put on J hooks, especially for you sheepshead fishermen. So that's what we did. But I also wanted to talk about the different types of rigs that we use and why we use them, and the questions that we get, I try to answer as good as possible. For our conventional rod, or our quote-unquote big boy rod, we're using the Fletcher custom rod, which is a 15 to 30 pound. It's a it has very good backbone to it, but it has a nice flexible tip to it, and it has really good sensitivity. And typically what we use on this rod is we use a knocker rig, and that's our 2 ounce Tampa Bay Fishing Channel egg sinker with our 4/0 Tampa Bay Fishing Channel hook. So these are also available online, but this is our typical knocker rig, and that's what we call a knocker rig. But some people will say, well, a fish finder rig, what's a fish finder rig? Well, a fish finder rig is when you actually just add a swivel between the leader and the egg sinker. So you'll have this amount of line, or however much you choose. Some people use up to 30 feet of leader line when they're mutton fishing and things like that, but that's on the other coast. But we do 3 or 4 feet of leader if we're doing the fish finder rig with a barrel swivel. But typically what I use almost all the time when I'm using my big boy pole is the knocker rig, with it between a 1 and 3 ounce inside the bay, and then of course bigger when you go way offshore. So that's the knocker rig that we use on our big boy poles. And then this is our custom spinning rod by Scott Fletcher. It's 15 to 30 pounds, 7'6". It's got a really fast, nice tip to it. Very sensitive, but the backbone on it is incredibly strong, as you see in a lot of our videos. And what we like about this rod is that they have these rubber grips, which are really nice on the hands. And you can contact Scott Fletcher, and I'll put in his phone number, and he can build a custom rod for you. This one is tied up with a with a Stewie, 1 out, 1 1/4. So with 20-pound leader, and I'm using 8-pound braid, and a 20-pound leader is typically all we use. And of course we have our 2/0 and 4/0 hooks in the circle hooks, and we'll be offering the 4/0 and 1/0 in the octopus hooks also when we get those in, when we get the 1/0s. But I also wanted to talk about this jig. It's called a ball. It's actually called an ear ball jig is what its name is, but we're just going to call it the ball jig. And we're going to be offering these from 2 ounce to 6 ounce in all of our colors, from the pinks to the neon yellow, orange, sand. So it will be offered in all the colors. I should be launching these probably next week. And so when they're on the website, I'll make sure that I send out an email. But anyway, we have our own braided line, 10-pound, 8-pound. I'm just bringing in 10-pound now because that seems to be the most popular, is 10-pound. So I'm bringing in 10-pound braid. And then our fluorocarbon leader, which is 20-pound, 110 yards. You can buy it on our website for, I think it's $10.99, and then this is $19.99 for 500 yards, which is really good bargains. So anyway, that's kind of our setup. That's what we like to fish with. We're pretty simplistic when it comes to this. We try to keep it as simple as possible. But if you have any other questions, please let us know. You can visit us at tampabayfishingchannel.com and see all the products that we have online there. Or if you have even a question, you can email us through that website, or you can get in touch with us through Facebook and YouTube. Again, thank you very much for the support. We really appreciate it. Fish more, catch more, and we'll see you on the flip side.